Positive guidance and discipline practices. For effective child development, it is very important that we utilize these tools on a daily basis. Should you have any question, always know who to reach, such as your director and mentors. Some of the things we're going to be covering in this presentations are understanding positive guidance and discipline, the core strategies for positive guidance, implementing discipline practices, building supportive environments, the common challenges you may come across day-to-day basis, and their solutions. What is corporal punishment and the forbidden practices per licensing, NAC, as well as TRS? And what should one person do, especially employees and management, when they see physical, verbal, and/or psychological punishment is being used within the program? Understanding the positive guidance and discipline. Defining the positive guidance and discipline. A teacher-appropriate behavior is what sets the tone of the classroom. Your positive guidance can emphasize the teaching children appropriate behavior through encouragement and support rather than a punishment. Encouraging self-regulation. It will help children develop self-regulation skills to manage their emotions and action effectively. Fostering decision-making skills. Positive discipline supports children in learning to make thoughtful and responsible decisions. Why does the positive discipline matters? The discipline is about teaching, not punishing. Children deserve emotional safety and respect, and you can only give that to them in positive discipline. Aligns with Texas Minimum Standards, TRS, and national accreditation. Our philosophy for positive guidance means building your trust before correction, modeling calm, respectful behavior, using empathy and consistency, supporting self-regulation and problem-solving skills. Corporal punishments forbidden in child care per licensing, TRS, as well as national accreditation. Hitting or spanking children is strictly prohibited in child care settings. Use of physical force, such as slapping or shaking, is also forbidden. Pressing on arms, as well as pulling and tugging of any body part, is also forbidden. No corporal punishment includes pinching, biting, or hair pulling of a child. Restraint or any form of physical punishment to cause pain is banned. Restraint can also refer to holding a child into a device that can restrict from them coming out, walking, sitting, talking per their own taste is forbidden, such as high chairs, jumper, exerciser, cribs, and bouncies. Childcare providers must use positive guidance rather than physical discipline. Should you need extra assistance going in depth, please see your director. What is corporal punishment? Any physical force used to discipline a child. Say, for example, if a child stops walking, but you continue to tug on their arm, is a physical force. Child refused to sit in timeout, but you went ahead and lifted them up in the air so you can go ahead and assist them in sitting down, is corporal punishment, is a physical force. You forcing a child to do anything is corporal punishment. Examples: hitting, spanking, shaking, pinching, pulling, tugging, and making them do something. Strictly prohibited by law and Dear One's policy, visual red X over corporal punishment examples. Forbidden practices would be never allowed: verbal abuse, yelling, shaming, threats, emotional abuse, isolation, ridicule, withholding food, water, rest, or bathroom access, and physical restraint except in emergencies, putting them maybe in for a long period of time in a device, a crib, bouncies, high chairs, or in corner, or in timeout for that matter, all day long or for a long period of time. Public shaming or group punishment. What we do instead. Restorative strategies would be natural and logical consequences. How would you like to be treated, first of all, in that case? Put yourself in their shoes. And then also consider their age. They're not tiny adults. They're not adults. They're tiny little people, babies. Offering choices within limits. Always make sure you give them 2 choices minimum for any task or assignments that you assign them. Calm down spaces and sensory tools should be available to them at all times Don't put away the materials in your classroom. That is what's going to keep them occupied and focused. Reflective conversations with children. Always have a conversation. Ask them questions. Encourage them to use their words. Sample language would be, let's take a deep breath together. 1, 2. Can you show me your gentle hands? And take your hand and just glide it over your arm and show them how gentle hands should look like. It's okay to feel angry, but it is not okay to hit. Real life scenarios would be child throwing toy response. So for example, validate their emotion. It's okay, what's going on? Redirect that behavior. Can you roll this toy? Can you put away the toy? Can we focus on another activity or come ask for help? Reflect together, work together. When sitting down doing an activity together, ask, hey, what happened? Can you use your gentle hands next time? Discussion prompt, what should you say? What would you say? Or what would you do? That would be something that you can discuss with your director as well in depth. Key principles and philosophies. Core principles, respect, empathy, and consistency form the foundation for promoting intrinsic motivation in children. Put yourself in their shoes and see how you would want to be treated should you have made that mistake. Then add their age to it. Instead of 20, 30, or 40 years old, 2, 4, and 6 years old. Now think again. Nurturing relationships. Building nurturing relationships supports children's growth and fosters positive behavior development. Fostering autonomy. Encouraging children's autonomy helps develop long-lasting positive behaviors and self-motivation. Benefits over punitive approaches. Emotional regulation benefits. Positive guidance helps children manage emotions effectively, promoting calm and thoughtful responses and a structured classroom environment, which also results in teachers having peaceful environment to work in. It takes a lot of effort at first and consistency, but it definitely pays off. Enhance self-esteem. Children develop stronger self-esteem through encouragement and positive reinforcement. Improved social skills. Positive guidance fosters better social interactions and cooperation among children. Contrast and punitive methods. Punitive approaches can lead to fear, resentment, and behavioral problems in children. Core strategies for positive guidance. Setting clear and consistent expectations. Understanding the boundaries. Clear expectations will help children recognize limits, fostering a sense of safety and security in their environment in your classroom. Creating predictability. Consistent rules establish routine, making the environment predictable and supportive for positive behaviors. Your visual schedule in your classroom is part of this routine. Utilizing this visual schedule will have your children in routine and behave and support their environment being predictable. Supporting positive behavior. Clear guidelines guide children towards acceptable behaviors, encouraging positive social interactions and learning. So for instance, when you come into work and you are asked to do something else than what you actually had in mind to start your day off, it will throw you off. So same strategies. Using positive reinforcement means rewarding good behavior to encourage it to happen again. It's kind of like when your director comes and asks you or gives you a kudos and says, hey, you did a good job, your circle time looks great. That encourages you as a teacher, as an adult, to do that again and again because positive enlightens everyone. Rewarding doesn't necessarily mean give them candies or have a little goodie box for them to pick item from. Rewarding means here is giving them encouraging words. Good job. Awesome. Great. High fives. Motivating children, recognizing positive actions motivates children to keep behaving appropriately. When you recognize the positive action, if they do something right, don't ignore it. Oh, great. Finally, he did it again. No. Hey, good job. Okay, let's do that again, okay? That was awesome. You just made Miss RC so happy. That will encourage that child to do this again because my positive actions motivated this child. Modeling desired behaviors. Children learn by observation. They need a leader in the classroom. So, first of all, let's be visible for them. Children absorb behaviors by watching adult role models in everyday situations. When they see their mommy babying them, they want a baby so they can also pretend to play mommy. When they see their teacher actually talking to them gently, nicely, and saying walking feet, they will encourage their peer ones. Hey, walking feet. Model the behavior you expect from them. Calm behavior modeling. Adults demonstrating calmness help children develop emotional regulation skills. It's proven those who are spoken to in calm voice would always also have conversation in calm behavior, in calm manner. Respectful and responsible actions. Showing respect and responsibility teaches children important social values to emulate. Implementing the discipline practices. Redirecting challenging behaviors. Definition of redirecting would be is guiding children away from inappropriate behaviors toward positive alternatives for better outcomes. If you see a child going and attacking and or trying to hit their friend, hey Johnny, do you want to come help Miss RC with something? That will give them an alternate positive redirection, and they would probably, I want to help Miss RC. And that way you just redirected their challenging behavior towards something that would have been positive and also meaningful. Preventing escalation. Redirecting also helps prevent behavior escalation by shifting focus before issues intensifies. This is where your proper supervision also comes in handy. You will not be able to prevent the escalation if you're not providing proper supervision because you will not be aware of when a situation might be escalating or about to escalate. Once you notice a problem is a kind of occurring, ongoing, you know that party, you know that person, the behavior, the response and reaction from that person if somebody is to take their toy away. You're going to, again, positively redirect them and ask them to do something different, or the other person to, hey, please share, use your words. Teaching acceptable actions. It teaches children acceptable actions through positive examples and guidance. It has been proven many times, just in dear ones, when you are taking your time, just giving them the respect and actually teaching them, okay, let me know when you're ready. Once the child says, I am ready, then you talk about, so what happened? Talk to me. That was not okay. We don't hit. You need to use your words and then ask for help from teacher. Offering choices and consequences. Empowering through choices offers children choices that helps build their confidence and promotes decision-making skills. Teaches responsibility. Choices encourage children to take responsibility for their decisions and actions. And natural and logical consequences, which demonstrates the effects of actions in a nurturing and educational way. Utilizing time in and reflection methods. Calming down process. Time in helps children calm down in a safe and supportive setting to regain emotional balance. Look around to make sure that you do have a corner or an area in your classroom that allows children to calm down and use that area to take a deep breath. Emotional awareness. This method encourages children to recognize and understand their emotions effectively. Problem-solving skills. Time in promotes development of problem-solving skills by guiding children to reflect on their behavior. Building supportive environments. Creating nurturing and respectful spaces. Fostering trust and safety. Encouraging self-expression. Valuing individuality. Supportive environments build trust and safety, essential for children's emotional growth and learning environment. Respectful spaces allow children to express their individuality freely and confidentially, promoting creativity. Environments that value individuality help children feel respected and understood, enhancing their learning experience. Partnering with families and caregivers. Importance of collaboration. Working together with families and caregivers promotes consistent guidance and discipline practices for children. Consistency in practices across home and care setting reinforces the positive behavior effectively. Please see your director if you'd like to set up a meeting to partner with your parents today. Common challenges and solutions. Handling resistance and persistent misbehavior. Patience and response. Dealing with resistance requires patience to effectively support children's emotional needs and behavior. Always handle a child who's misbehaving in calm and nurturing voice. Your calmness can also make sure that your mental health is healthy when a child is misbehaving in your classroom and or showing signs of not wanting to listen. Ask for help and or somebody else to take over should you need an extra assistance. Understanding the triggers. Identifying and understanding triggers can also help tailor interventions that reduces persistent misbehavior. Getting to know your children in your classroom would also help you. What happens when somebody takes this child's toy? Or what happens when somebody else comes even near him because he likes to have his personal area? He wants to be in his bubble, nobody to come in his bubble. Adapting approaches. Adapting strategies to meet individual needs ensures effective behavior management while maintaining clear boundaries. Documentation and reporting. Use behavior incident report for all incidents. Notify your leadership immediately. That is your management, your front desk. Talking among each other is not enough. Report any observed prohibited practices. If you see someone doing something that you don't really okay with, you don't know if it is or it is not by compliance, by standards, by TRS, report it. Let your management know. Go somebody above them if needed to. Maintain professionalism and confidentiality all across the board, no questions asked. Something that is common sense. Don't tell your peer ones, don't go home telling your family what happened. If you suspect physical, verbal, or psychological punishment, immediately ensure the child is safe and supported, and then document the concern in detail, including the date, time, and what you observed. Your commitment is needed and is required. You are agreeing to, when working with children in a childcare facility, to uphold the discipline policies. You have signed the discipline and guidance agreement with your school. You have participated in your monthly refreshers and trainings, and you have and will be seeking coaching and support if needed. Maintaining consistency across settings. Unified support system, coordinated efforts among caregivers, teachers, and family members promote consistent guidance for children. Reinforcing positive behaviors. Consistency will help you strengthen that positive behavior and patterns in your classroom and reduces the misunderstandings and incidents among children. Creating stability. Stable environments foster child development by minimizing confusion through consistent interaction and build strong relationship with parents and families. Conclusion. Now that we're done with this training, you are now aware of importance of positive guidance in childcare, which helps children develop self-discipline and emotional well-being through supportive interactions. You also understand role of discipline. Discipline nurtures well-rounded children by teaching boundaries and promoting responsible behaviors. Adaptation and support. Caregivers must adapt guidance practices to support ongoing growth and development effectively and report when one is not following the positive guidance and role of discipline policy.